The thrill is gone away. B.B. King was one of the greatest R&B blues singers, apparently, and that was one of his most popular songs. So today we have my second, what is this thing, a DCT, Diecast team? I forget already. Anyways, the first time I reviewed the Lexus LFA, I liked it for the price. I thought it was quite great. I think they could actually make a name for themselves if they were a little smarter with their budget. So this is actually licensed, so if you know, that's a good thing. If they're doing things legally, it gets approved by Toyota, saying this is a good representation of the car. I wonder what they tell people at Hot Wheels. Because let's face it, Hot Wheels are not good representations of cars. They're just similar to cars and they cost very little money, at least the main wise. So what did the car companies say to them? They're like, it's good enough. Okay, well anyhow, this actually I think is going to look more realistic than a Hot Wheels. What I complained about before and I'll complain about again is I think the model could be even better if they didn't make you buy a worthless box. This display box, you know, who wants to display it in a blister like that, right? It doesn't make sense. I think it'd just be better if this blister was in a cardboard box and then you save the money and you put that into somewhere else on the model, like maybe a colorful interior, or just make the model cheaper in general. Because yeah, when you do get this out, are you going to just put this back in here and have the thing rolling around inside of a box or moving sideways and breaking the mirrors off? It just doesn't make sense to have something that's not screwed to a base. It does have a sticker though, and it does say what the car is, and apparently the chassis code. That's nice to know. It would be nice perhaps if it said the year 2000, seeing how that's what that says, right? So that would have been cool. That would have been free to do. Okay, well you definitely know it's a Diecast team product there. It's just that it's weird. It's just, that's gonna go in the trash. Alright, so Wikipedia wise, this is a first generation Toyota BB, but it was also known as the Scion XB, and it was also known as the Daihatsu Materia, and possibly the Subaru Dex. So I don't know why they have to rename stuff. I can understand Subaru and Daihatsu, but Toyota and Scion, they could have just called it BB in either country. I don't know why they have to change it to XB. It's just weird. It was originally designed to be sold to like guys in their 20s, but many women bought this car as well because it's simply practical. I mean, it literally looks like two boxes stacked up on each other. These are not the original wheels. It's just I couldn't find a first generation that has five spokes like this particular model does. Let me get in a little closer. So I don't know, that's kind of close, and it's a good side view comparison. Looking at the hood, the rake of the windscreen looks good, the roof line being flat. So the only thing I'm noticing though is the tail lights. You see how wrapped around they are, the side? You can really see them on the side. You're really not seeing much of that here. You really have to angle the thing quite a bit. So I feel like the rear light should have cut into the side of the body more. That's definitely quite noticeable, right? Look how much that is. So that could have been better. Or they could have maybe made the taillights stick out further. Anyways, here's a rear view. So they are white lensed lights, it looks like. And then they may have some red bulbs in there or something, and possibly a reflector right there. It does have this J-shaped wiper blade as well, and the exhaust is coming out that side. Okay, that's also a modified one, probably the same car. I don't know, I can't tell. These are not speed demons. They're powered by either 1.3 or 1.5 inline fours. So I'm gonna guess it must have been around 100 horsepower or something like that. Let's start with the front today. So it's nice that it actually has the logo. That's the real like font, and this pick has been used. Sorry, it's got some crazy glue. Let me get a new one out there. What's kind of weird is this seam. I'm gonna guess that's there on the real car, but I don't know. I don't see it on that front photograph. Oh, maybe it is barely there. I just kind of feel like that's unnecessary. Or if you're gonna make this groove, why make it so big? It's kind of distracting, right? A real car wouldn't have a groove that big in the front of it. It's really weird though. Why would they make a two-piece additional spoiler? Right? Why would? It's kind of odd. Alright, anyways, there's nice black paint in these recesses down here, and then the grill has a different texture, black paint, and then this grill up here, it's silver. And unfortunately, there's some extra plastic flash here, right? It wasn't trimmed properly. That's unfortunate. There's silver here in these markers, that's fine. It's nice that it has clear headlights, and you can see a light bucket with a light bulb. Maybe that's the pin of this plastic, but it looks like a light bulb to me. And also you can see some orange over on this side for the side indicators, and also a light bucket behind that. So those are pretty great headlights. Again, for the cost of this model, fantastic. You can see the side mirrors are sticking out. They're probably separate pieces, but we'll have to see in a moment. I'm going to really mix it up and go to the top. This is a nice orange metallic. I rather like it. It's not the smoothest paint in the world, but it's not the worst. And you can consider the pricing of this. I think it's fine, pretty good enough. You have some corrugation up here in the rear of the roof, and then you also have these tiny little black painted rain gutter things. So that's a nice detail. Again, for a model of this price, pretty impressive. The windscreen itself, we have some raised wiper blades painted black, and the blackout of the window. Yeah, I don't know if it's painted or the optical illusion of the molding. I think it might be painted on the outside. There's a little bit of a gappiness here though, so that's kind of weird. I don't know what's keeping this window in place, unless it's curving under and they just didn't have enough black paint there. That would have been an easy fix. Alright, let's go around to the back. So we have a blackout around this window, and it's on the outside surface. And then we have sort of a J-shaped wiper blade there. And again, why is this window so loose? Really strange. It's almost like it wants to open, but I don't think it does. Yeah, you can see the press fittings there. So in the down position, it's fine. Just don't go picking at it, I guess. Alright, so this gate lift here, it's silver. I don't know if the real car has it, because that rear photo could be a modified color. Or maybe certain years came with silver there, or certain countries. So I'm not sure, but it's not in the rear photo I pulled up. But the rear badge, yes, it does look like the BB badge. Two different shaped Bs, if I could focus on it. And basically, if you can't read that, that's what you want to read. It's just a black inverse, I guess, of it. The rear taillights, again, clear with some orange and some red. So it's nice that they have these different colors and also light bulbs behind them. So that's nice. But again, the criticism is, I think it should be cut in more, or this plastic should be sticking out to be more visible. It's a little bit too flush. This exhaust pipe is quite interesting because it's actually angled off. It's not just coming straight out and down. It's literally pointed 45 degrees out, and there's a little bit of a dimple there, so that's kind of tubular. Way tubular. And, I guess, I don't know if this is a separate piece or if it's part of the base. I can't tell. I don't know if it's like a tab holding the back end down. It might be. But if it is, that's a really thin piece of metal to put it through. Interesting. Going around to the side again, I couldn't find any photographs of these 5 spokes. Not to say that they didn't exist. Maybe like they were an optional wheel or something. But what's up with the brakes are literally cast into the wheels. So I find it odd to have calipers, spinning like that. If you like rolling models, it's going to look weird rolling, but if you put some poster putty like right there, then it makes more sense, to just have the brake caliper stationary. I don't know. Maybe it would have just been better if there was no brake caliper at all, so when you spun it, it didn't look odd. There's no additional color on the caliper, but that's fine. It's nice that there's brakes in it at all. I'm wondering if those brakes should spin or not, because I kind of feel like maybe that Lexus one I reviewed, the brakes were separate. But I can't spin it. Let me see if I can spin this one. Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, so what's happening is nothing is keeping those brakes from spinning. It's this cylinder here. What's missing is a tooth to go into this notch. It's weird because the notch is literally in the bottom, but they forgot to add it to the brake part. That's what's supposed to keep the brakes in place and the wheel spinning. So it's like really odd, you know? So maybe someone designed the chassis part and someone else designed the brakes and they didn't talk to each other that day. So that's why the brakes are spinning. There's no tab. Very strange. These are very modern looking treads for a car from the year 2000. It's not realistic. I don't mind. What I like is the fact that they don't look like truck tires from the side. They're just round. That's what street tires look like, so I like it. Okay. Well, anyways, yeah, again, the brake, just gotta put some poster putty in there later and it'll fix the problem. We do have a bit of orange peel here, so that you'll have to ask yourself, is a model this cheap okay with that? I don't know. It's really bad, though. It's like Hot Wheels kind of bad. So I feel that could have been better. I don't recall the Lexus by this brand, the LFA, being this rough. Door handles are nicely casted, though. Finger recesses. The blackout of these side windows, nicely done. Also a really thin panel groove there. And the door cut grooves are really thin, considering this is a toothpick, so that's good. A little dimple in the wheel spokes, that's good as well. They almost look like multi-pieces, like little bolt perimeter bolts. Whoa, yeah, a little silver paint in the mirrors. That's quite unexpected again for a model in this price range. There's a little reflector bump there, or a running light bump there. None in the back though. Interesting. Going around to the bottom, we do have a plastic base, and then we actually have a separate piece of an exhaust. So that's cool. I mean, you don't get that in models this expensive from all the other brands. So I do think this is the only screw, and that is a tab, that license plate. So that's really well done. The gap is so tight, it's really well done. And it tells you what the scale is, what the car is. Oddly, it doesn't tell you DCT or Diecast team anywhere on here, even though it's a licensed product. So that is odd, considering the base it came in is worthless, right? So that is weird. The interior, I'm not going to open this up. So let's just get a flashlight here. Alright, so we have a right-hand drive. We do have some molded details in the center console. I can't tell if there's a different color there, or if it's just well molded. Maybe we'll see on the other side. The glove box there is interesting. There's a little shelf above it, a little storage cubby. The vent there in the dashboard looks good enough. The steering wheel is nicely molded. Possibly there's a center logo there. I think so. Yeah, I think there's a Toyota logo there. The seats do have some slight ribbing. And interesting, the Wikipedia did say the Japanese version had a bench seat up front. And I do think that is very similar to a bench seat. The Scion had bucket seats, so there would have been a gap in the floor transmission. But this is more of like a bench seat, and the transmission would be somewhere on the steering column or the dashboard for the JDM market, which is what this is claiming to be. So I do think that's accurate. So if you have a Scion XB, this is still accurate because this is supposed to be the Toyota, not a Scion. Okay, so that's well researched, well done. There's like a little package shelf, you know, that little worthless cover on most trunks. Who actually keeps those in their car? Every car I've had with that trunk cover, I just throw it out because it always gets in the way of like, groceries and stuff. And I'm not really concerned if someone's stealing a bag of bananas or whatever. There's an armrest there, door pull. The rear, oh boy, that's a really distorted or dirty window. Oh, there's cleaner. Yeah, same in the rear, good enough details. Really hard to tell if that dashboard has a decal on it. It's just, to the naked eye, it looks really good. Here's 1 lumen, that's the best I can do. 15's too bright. 1. I'm looking through a phone screen, so it's really hard. Let me hit focus, and then on your bigger screen, hopefully you can figure out if that's painted or not. It's really not well done, that center console. I like it. There is no rear view mirror? Or is there? Maybe that is a rear view mirror. I think this, yeah, I think it is. It's just, you know, part of the window molding up there. But it works better than nothing. Yeah, there's a bunch of press fittings holding that window up there. It's really about the gappiness of the windscreen though. Okay, well I think it's fine. And then for you toy collectors, this actually does roll. It actually rolls pretty well. I would have guessed that there'd be some scraping of the tires, but no, this rolls well. And I think for this car it's fine because this isn't a sports car. It would have actually had that kind of gappiness. And in fact, if you put it down, it kind of goes away and almost looks like a lowered custom car. Yeah, it's actually, the front looks gappy. The rear kind of looks low. The front axle does look a bit back though. It looks jacked up. I don't know if the axle's bent. Oh yeah, I think the axle's bent. See? So that's centered now. Alright, so some QC issues I guess at the factory. Because you know with that packaging, it shouldn't have gotten bent. And this was bent at the factory. So yeah, it's a little weird, that front roller. It's like the person ran into a curve and hasn't gotten it realigned. Comparison time. This is not a Daihatsu Materia, but it is a Daihatsu Tanto Custom from 2003 to 2007. So this is a possible competitor, at least in Japan, because this first generation XB, or BB, the BB was sold or produced between 2000 and 2005, the end of 2005. Here we have a Suzuki Wagon R, and this is also from 05 to 08. So these are small, these are K-class vehicles, I believe, these two. I don't think the BB is not claiming to be a K-class, but it's not much bigger than a K-class vehicle. This is also a K-class, it's like a retro design. This is a TLV Subaru Sambar Diaz Classic. So actually this is from 1990, so nope, that is almost 99, but this came out in 2000, so this is the tail end of competition. So again, a K-class vehicle. I'll put that here. These other two are by who? No branding. Doyusha, I think it's Doyusha, D-O-Y-U-S-H-A, I think made these two. And then my standard van reference is the Greenlight 18 van, the good old GMC Vandura. So now you can see how small K-Class vans are. And this XB, which I call it an XB because I lived in America. And I just had a second generation of this car as well. So it'll always be an XB to me, but they could have easily called it a BB. Top view wise, you can really get an idea of how size wise it's quite a small vehicle by Western standards. Okay, gotta move these out and move this over here. So it's just cruising around the field. So obviously again the brakes are a little bit weird. You know, they made a poor design decision not keeping them stationary. Quality wise, there's that extra flash in the grille. I think that's it. There's a little bit of a gappiness again here, so they didn't press the casting enough to clamp that up against the die cast. But again, with a model of this price, I'm far more lenient. I think for this price, it's actually fantastic. It is far better than any sort of Hot Wheels Boulevard garbage. I mean, those things don't look real. They look like stylized toys, but they're not stylized enough for me to enjoy them. So, yeah, I think this brand is far better, and also clear lights front and rear, better than anything from Greenlight Auto World. Well, Greenlight does have some clear lights, but Auto World and M2 machines, M2 also has some clear lights. Alright, so I guess I'm just ragging on Auto World now. thank you for watching, and I'll have to take a look to see what other castings these guys have. Someone did comment I should look at the poster cars. The problem is the shipping cost on eBay for poster cars is way too prohibitive for that particular model at that particular price. So I don't think I'll ever review the poster cars unless I can get them for like $15 delivered, because I can get this delivered for $6 or $7. So, you know, I'm not gonna pay twice as much. I may as well just go buy a mini GT or something. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.